So we finally went ahead and started our reindeer grind on Monday's livestream, and the ultimate goal of this grind is to get 2 gold scoring rare reindeer for the Slay Sold Separately multi-mount, and I think we did pretty well on stream. We figured we killed somewhere in the area of 30 reindeer, and then I went through and did a second run and probably had similar totals, so we've killed something like 60 so far, and I wanted to come back to Medved today and just kind of see if it's gotten us anything good to this point. So there's 2 males in here that I'd like to get. The one on the left's going to be tough, but that one's bigger, and I think we should have gotten that other one. I'm not sure if he dropped. We definitely got a lung, but he must have kind of moved to the side, but I'm pretty sure we should have both of them down pretty quickly, and that's definitely not a bad way to start with 2 level 4s, so barely into a lung on that guy. And one thing that I've kind of noticed with this grind that I think might make it more difficult than I originally expected, there are not a lot of gold scoring reindeer. Like, that's still a 308 silver, even though it looks pretty big. So in the past, I think there were more reindeer that made gold than there are now, and it might have kind of set my expectations incorrectly for how difficult this grind is going to be, but I actually didn't want to start up here. There's a bit of hunting pressure from last time. I wanted to start down here in the southeast, but just to make sure all the reindeer down here had time to get into their zones, I thought we'd kind of go and get a couple up there at the larger lake, but we should have quite a number of them in a short period of time down here. So we almost sent that guy running. He's probably still going to try to flee on us because he is alarmed. And that's going to kind of mess with trying to get the other one that's at this lake. So I don't know if he was just really late getting there or what the deal was. But I wanted to just get up in the tripod and take him normally. Definitely wasn't our best shot. If we could hit him again, that would be good. That should help us a little bit and get him down quickly. We might have even gotten like back of the lungs there. But actually, so far just a couple of runs into this grind here on Medved. I'm quite enjoying the change of scenery because we've done so many grinds for different diamonds and rares and stuff in the past, but other than the musk deer one, there's not been much of anything we've done on Medved recently, and just to see all the different animals and different kind of scenery and landscape again, there's actually quite a nice change. And I guess liver does the job on that one. Both shots were a little bit back, but still ended up getting the silver, and again, I think that's going to be mostly what we're getting on this grind. There's been a couple of golds, but it's definitely not the number of golds I expected, which just kind of makes our odds of getting gold scoring rare specifically a lot lower. So a little bit of a different strategy for this particular lake. All the reindeer kind of drink right against the trees, and it makes it really tough to get very many shots at all before they're all kind of out of sight, but if we call them in, we can at least get a couple of shots off at some of the males. I think there's 4 here. So if we're quick about it, we should be able to get at least 3 of them. We might be able to get all 4 depending on what direction they go. And also it sort of depends when they start trotting, because usually I don't bother going for shots until they do trot, because it's just tough to get anything decent. And then we're just sort of tracking forever, and I think that's probably less efficient than just shooting them decent and then tracking them and coming back the next time. That one we did not hit very well, but I think at least the other 3 we did. The first 2 definitely didn't go anywhere. If the third one got hit decently well, the 4th one might be down by the time that we get back here and start tracking it. But at the very least, we definitely got these 2 down really quickly, and it would have been better, I think, if they would have run all across the lake. That first one going back to our right here kind of messed with everything, but I hope we at least got it decently well. Definitely not bad, just managed to get into a lung there. So at least 3 out of the 4 we did well on. And actually, there is another male around here somewhere that was drinking up at this end of the lake, but there were too many kind of all in that one area to actually try to go and get one off by itself. If we can see it as we're running around tracking, we'll definitely go for it, but again, it's kind of back to the same thing, trying to be efficient and just getting as many reindeer down as we can. So it may just be one for the next run, but all things considered, getting 4 of them that quickly wasn't a bad deal. It's kind of interesting how that brow tine's basically on his forehead, but we'll praise Rocky for finding that one. And we'll head off to the next lake. So it's not a reindeer, but actually it seems like reindeer have stopped spawning at this lake, which at least kind of cuts it out of our rotation for a little while. Eventually we'll have to check back here and make sure that they haven't kind of started spawning here again, but a blonde mythical brown bear is probably something to actually go for. I'd love to get a blonde diamond one, because I think the one we have is a cinnamon, but with only the M1, we're going to have to be pretty selective with our shot placement. A hard shot would have been ideal. What actually just happened? That is Vital Blood. It's going to cost us some time to go and track him, because obviously with a weaker caliber he's going to run kind of far. But I'd like to know why the first shot didn't hit. It might have like caught on the rock here, because I feel like we were on for a hard shot and dropping him would have been better, but there's definitely a lot of reindeer drink time remaining, so we'll go and find him. So we know for sure that the first shot just didn't hit, but then the second shot, I think he was just getting ready to maybe stand up. But a 26.2 blonde brown bear, 27.7's diamond, so it's still lower end of mythical, but over 400 kg. Not too bad. It's probably the best one we've shot since the diamond we got actually at this lake probably 3 or 4 months ago now. So another lake with a bit of an odd strategy for how we're going to do this. We're going to go ahead and take this level 4 when we get a chance. We did have to call him out of the reed so we could actually see him, but if he'll kind of slow down again for us, we can go ahead and hit him. And right where our tripod is actually another herd of reindeer that drinks there. And of course, they're not there right now because our tent is like within 150 meters of where they were. So they're basically not visible, and even though we're taking a shot at that reindeer there, it's not going to end up spooking them. So what we're doing now is basically running all the way across the lake till we're somewhere between 150 and 200 meters away. Don't know where that one was hiding, but make sure to get him as well just since we're here. And now, hopefully as long as we're not having any others run in front of us, we'll get to where they actually spawn in. And basically, we get to get an extra one without spooking the ones that are in that zone. I don't know why they haven't started drinking. It may well be just because of the strategy we went with, but luckily, we got both of those guys in the lungs. The level 3 took off running right as we shot, but it still worked. And at the end of all that, we got 4 more males. And the thing about that is, for a long time when we've done our setups, we always try to make sure that the tent is, you know, beyond that range that they spawn in at, just to make sure that we can actually see them. But it's a pretty interesting strategy at any lake where you have multiple drink zones. Having the tent kind of on top of one of them to where those ones don't spawn in, it does allow you to get those easier, like, standing still shots, and in that case we definitely needed them. We were really, really close to not getting the second shot off once we basically shot our 4th one. But because we had these 2 down first before the others even spawned in, it allowed us to do that. I think this may be a gold. 319. Kind of interesting we ended up getting the liver there, but managed our maybe first or second gold. I actually haven't been paying too much attention. And then the other 2 are going to be down pretty much side by side, I think. There's one down right here that is just a silver, and I think they were both actually silvers up here. But I'm not sure where the other one is laying exactly. There's blood there, and apparently he ran up the hill, which I guess makes sense. It was away from where we were shooting, and he was just a little silver as well. But getting 4 from a little lake like this definitely is not a bad deal. So we're going to get sidetracked a little bit, but this track right here has the potential to be something really cool. It's a black gold wild boar, and 132 to 186 kg. That is definitely in the area that can make gold. I think it's normally around 160 kg for a gold one. But it could be a level 3 or level 4, and I really hope we can go and find that. So it's going to kind of take us off of our reindeer grind, but I think it'll be worth it. That's going to be our guy right there if we could spot him. Up to 105, and I think they're the same as feral pig, and from feral pig hunting a lot, I think 98 is gold. So he has a chance. I really hope he makes it, and just because it's so rare, I think we'll follow him a little while and try to get him out on a lake, because if we can't get him to where he's like standing still, I think that's going to be tough, but he's kind of headed towards one there, it looks like. I definitely didn't plan on it taking this long, but I think we finally have the perfect spot. He's running out across the ice. There's a long way to go, but we're going to stay ready for when he actually turns broadside. There's no way we're going to let this opportunity pass by, so hopefully at some point out there he is going to stop. He's kind of getting close to the edge of the lake now, but he's going nervous. So as soon as he stands still for us, we're gonna drop him right there. That is so cool. I don't think we've ever had a male black gold wild boar before. We had a female actually trying to do missions here on Medved was the first one, then a couple on Hirschfeld and multiplayer. We might as well, if we can, try to get our level 3 reindeer out there too. I think that's going to be good enough to bring him down, and it looks like it, so nice little bonus, especially when we spent as much time as we did running after this wild boar. And I want to get a quick picture with Rocky here, because I don't think we'll get many opportunities for a picture like that. And then let's actually see here. Hey, 105.7. So 105 was his max estimate. I did wonder, because he was level 3 and because he was in that weight range, I wondered if that was going to be the case, and that's exactly what it was. That's got to be one of our best rares in recent memory. So of course now we're getting into the part of the run where it's kind of tough to see some of the reindeer where they drink. So we end up kind of going for running shots, but as long as they do that and run out across the lake, it's usually not a big deal. And of course it helps when they end up running broadside, but just another little silver. I guess it is just kind of like the reeds that are often around the lakes on Medved, but I feel like it's the only map where we really have to consistently call animals out of an area just to be able to see them and see everything that's there. Because there are 2 males in here. I definitely want to get the level 4 first. I think they're both silvers, wherever the level 4 got to. Get him. And that was absolute pure luck that we ended up spotting immediately the level 3. Because otherwise, they're running straight away from us. I don't know that we'd have a very fun time actually making a decent shot, but worked out quite well that he happened to be directly to the left where we kind of just moved the scope to. But I keep on going back to it. Mostly what we're getting is silver reindeer, even though I really like that frame for like a younger bull. They're still all just silvers, which I am thinking more and more it's going to be tough to get gold scoring rares, but that is the first time I've seen that. So we had the one earlier with the brow tine like on the forehead. Those brow tines are like in the forehead. It's not the best look, but anyway, I mean, I think the rare spawn rate of reindeer is higher than some other species. Like, it seems like leucistic reindeer especially are fairly common. So I think it'll be doable, but it may take longer than expected. So this is a more interesting lake. We've got a couple of different drink zones, but one is kind of like an area that we saw before where it's just hard to not spook the reindeer. And they have all already spooked, but I'm hoping that by getting our shot off quickly there at the level 4, maybe the other ones that spooked went off in this direction might try to come back, and that might be exactly what they're doing. It looks that way. So maybe if we kind of back up and get across the lake like this, we might be able to get both of the males that are in that herd yet. And naturally they would kind of choose a spot to drink nervously where we can't really pick out a specific one. I do know that the level 3 is kind of in the middle there. So when he lifts his head, that's him there. I think at the very least we can get him, and we'll kind of see what happens. There's a 4 in there. We did get him. I'm not too sure even where the 4 got to be honest. I never did actually see him get into the zone, I just saw the rest of them. So I guess we'll just be happy with the 1, and we do have our level 4 over on this side yet. And I actually thought he was bigger at a distance. He's a pretty small level 4 at 284. But then we have our 3 over on the other side, and I think that's probably going to be our last kill of the hunt. If for no other reason than the fact that I want to go back and see that black gold boar in the trophy lodge. But also we're getting pretty close to 20 reindeer down, and we've covered most of the better areas other than the ice in the north. By the way, looks like our reindeer came back, and actually, they're in a better spot now. So as long as we don't hit that tree that the level 4 is behind, we gotta be able to get him too. And I think once he lifts his head we should be good. We don't want another one to walk in front of him, and one's kind of trying to. Must have actually been behind him, but that's gonna get everything from here down, because there were only 3 males that I saw for sure, and that's got all of them now. It might be a bit of an issue to actually find them both, because there's a ton of tracks over here now from the spooking a couple of different times. But that was our level 3, and the 4 should have been, I thought, a little more this way. I don't know how long that would have taken without Rocky actually helping us out, but pretty wonky looking level 4. But that's yet another harvest and yet another respawn, hopefully to work towards getting a couple of gold rares. But we did get a gold rare today, just not exactly the one we were after, so I still want to go back and look at it. It's got to be one of the best rares we've had in a while. So this little platform now has come full circle in our trophy lodge. We had a black gold female wild boar for multiplayer here for a long time, and then we had eventually our diamond pharaoh pig, the piebald pronghorn, but now we're back to a gold black gold wild boar, and I just think it looks so cool. Like, it's so hard to not display not only an animal that looks really cool, but a really rare animal. You just don't see a lot of this, and the fact that it made gold and everything, with the low estimate that it had, it was just such a cool feeling to actually get that. And after, I'm not sure how many total black gold wild boars, I think 4 now. It's the only male we've had, and it made gold, and it's going to stay in the trophy lodge, I think, for a very long time. It's such a cool animal. Definitely not the gold rare ranger we're looking for, but a probably even cooler gold rare wild boar. I just think that's awesome. But anyway, we got some decent progress done for our reindeer grind, and we got a really cool rare along the way, so not too bad for a quick little hunt over there on Medved. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.